Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're gonna talk about the internet might have been right all along about something that they have been saying. And man, let's talk about it because if the internet was right, it means that I was right too about something that I said too. When I said, this girl Barney does not know how to keep a secret. Let's talk about it, shall we? Because Barney has released a new song. Now, with this new song, I've been looking at the people under the comment section because it's on Instagram. She has her friends that, they're going to support her in all the things that she does, right? And these people, they censor what they share about Barney B. So if it's something good, if it is something positive, of course, they share it. But when it comes to the negativity, anything that puts her in a bad light, they don't share it, right? So I guess you're going to have to say, what are friends for, right? So, as I was saying, Barney released a new song. I really don't know the title. Maybe they have shared the title of it, right? But she has released a new song. And in that song, you could hear lyrics such as, try to trap me, but never kept it. Not verbatim, but I'm just paraphrasing, right? So, we know that Barney has one child for Stefon Diggs. We know that she has 3 for Offset, right? So we know that whenever Barney leaves a relationship, you're gonna hear a few things coming out of her mouth about that relationship. So as such, with this new song, she's talking about the guy trying to trap her, but she never kept it. I did a video yesterday talking about the new song, and there were critics saying that even Stefon Diggs' mom said that Stefon Diggs tried to trap Cardi B. No, I never saw anything of Stefon Diggs' mom saying such a thing, but it doesn't mean that she never said it. Personally, I haven't seen it, so I can't say, yes, she said it when I haven't seen it. I don't lie in real life, and I'm not gonna lie on social media. I'm gonna keep it cute, whether you love to love it or whether you love to hate it. I'm gonna keep it clean all the way, honey, all the way. Because you know who is always watching? God is always watching, of course. So, I can't tell a lie on that woman to say that woman has done something that I've never witnessed, especially when it comes to the internet, because nothing is ever deleted from the internet. Even when you think you have deleted it, it's never deleted. So if she said it, it's there, right? And if she never said it, there'll be no evidence or trace of her saying what she never said. But what is pulling at my brain is just a few lines of the lyrics that I caught on too. The trap portion. I remember the internet saying that Barney B was pregnant. Barney B was pregnant with a second child for Stefon Diggs. Barney B's gonna have a second child for Stefon Diggs, And I was like, I don't think she's pregnant. But then knowing Barney B, she gets pregnant easily, and I guess anyone can look and tell at this point, she does, right? So it's not that we're making up stories when it comes to that, it's just what we've observed. So with her singing in the new song that the dude, tried to trap her, but she didn't keep it, it's given the sense that there was in fact a second pregnancy for Stefon Diggs. Did Stefon Diggs try to trap her? Like, I don't know. I don't think so at this point. This perception or this, opinion of mine, it may change over time if I see more to validate her claims or if I hear more to validate her claims, right? But at this point, the reason why I would say in my opinion, right? I don't think Stefon Diggs did trap her, even though, let's keep it real. Do we know everything that's going on behind the scenes? Absolutely not. But we can say we know a little thanks to her and thanks to Chef Mila and thanks to what we've seen him posting on the internet. Not much, but it's enough for us to have a solid understanding that he did get quite a couple of kids within the same year, right? Somewhere between 5, 6, or 7. Someone can let me know the exact number because who's keeping up? Quite a few of us are keeping up, right? But I'm just saying, based on the amount of women that gave birth to Stefon Diggs' kids last year, I'm like, is that really trap? Because I don't think that Stefon Diggs is anyone who is looking forward to settling down. I think he's looking for leverage, and I think Cardi B gives him good leverage. But I think that he has also mastered a craft in terms of how to keep Cardi B, under his thumb. And I believe that the only reason why Cardi B has moved on to this guy is because Stefon Diggs was pushing her away, in my opinion. Because the moment that we saw that viral meltdown video still living rent-free in our heads, that ain't gonna go anywhere anytime soon. But back to what I'm saying. We saw that viral meltdown video of Barnaby having a full-blown, full-on meltdown. And the moment that Barney had that meltdown, on Stefon Diggs publicly, and the podcast bro came in because like hell, honey, when I'm telling you that the podcast bro came in, the podcast bro, they came in. And they were telling Stefon Diggs to ditch the liability because Cardi B has become a liability. And honey, when I tell you that, Stefon Diggs is gonna listen to these men on the podcast because many of these men, many of the podcast bros, they don't like women. Most men don't like women. And that's just the truth. And women are waking up to the realization of that. We've seen videos on a daily basis on TikTok demonstrating that. We see the videos on Instagram of people telling their stories, and we see so many story times on YouTube. At this point, honey, they're way too much to count and way too much to keep up with. So many women are coming out to detail their experience about men, so we know most men, they don't like women. And if you check a lot of the statistics as to crime and violence against females, women, and minors, the statistics within itself speaks volume, and it actually tells you how much men actually hate women. So when the podcast bros speak, Stefon is gonna listen to the bros because the bros love the bros. And there's so many women who are coming out after their husband passing to say, oh my God, my husband was gay. So many girlfriends have ditched their marriage because after they get married, they found out that they were married to a DL guy. Take, for example, the financial baddie forever, Christina, honey, she's a financial baddie, that's BADDIE, on TikTok. Who, child? She did an entire series on that, and then after she decided that she was gonna leave the DL husband, like, can you imagine your father telling you to stay with a man that can give you worms? And that girl exposed her father. She exposed her entire family. And the internet was 10 toes down with her. They stood behind her. Why? Far too many women have the same story. So as such, Christina's story was so identical. It was so familiar. And if someone didn't have that experience, they knew someone who had such experience. So I'm just detailing all of that to say to you guys, men will support men every day because most of them don't like women. So Stefan listened to the podcast Bros, in my opinion, and as I've said, I knew he would have. If you guys haven't seen that video, wherein I spoke about the podcast Bros telling Stefon Diggs that Cardi is a liability rather than an asset at this time, you all need to check out that video because I said basically almost the same things that I'm saying here, right? And I know it's not the first time you guys are hearing me talking about Christina, the financial baddie. Because honey, when I tell you that story was one heck of a story, baby, she did an entire series. Like, you remember Risa Tisa? Who the heck did I marry? Who? Honey, the women have been going through it with these men. They say men are aliens. That's a new theory about men on TikTok. We're going to talk about it in another video. But I'm just saying that Stefon Diggs listened to the podcast Bros. He left her in the trenches, right? And you guys remember, I did an entire series about Stefon leaving Barney in the trenches. He left her in the trenches, and I believe she realized that she wasn't dealing with Offset because, as I've said to you guys, I don't know why the hell I'm so good at calling this. I wish I could solve my own problems just the same. Because I said to you guys, as time passed, you guys are going to see why the marriage between her and Offset didn't work. And I said, you guys are going to realize that even though she told y'all that Offset was a problem, she was equally the problem too. You see, as Bob Marley would say, baby, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. I know you guys hate it when I sing, but that's just my little thing. I'm just saying, sometimes we worry about things, but if we allow things to work themselves out, the truth and the lies, they're gonna come to light. Nothing remains hidden. No form of energy is forever hidden. So, I told you guys that you're gonna see why the marriage between her and Offset really didn't work. She has us believing that she had us, believing that Offset was the main contributor. And for so long, we were convinced because we saw Offset with a woman, we saw Offset trolling her, but slowly but surely, we saw her behavior, like that public meltdown with Stefon Diggs, right? So people are getting to know this woman for who she truly is by just the actions, her own actions and her own words. So Offset put up with her for so long, but Stefon Diggs was like, no boo boo, that shit ain't gonna fly with me as it did with Offset. I don't think Stefan tried to trap her because our dear friend Lord Giselle, which one has two babies for him? Man, I can't even keep up with who is doing what, sweetie. Someone leave a comment below. Let me know who had the two babies for him, please. Thanks in advance. But I'm just saying, if she had a second pregnancy, that's if, because it's never confirmed. We're using it through the song. If she had a second pregnancy for him, I don't think he was trying to trap her because she's not the only baby mama who would have two kids for him. Another woman out there has two kids for him. Was he trying to trap her? Maybe she needs to come forward and tell us. We love to hear the juicy deeds, but if she doesn't wanna, she can keep it to herself. It is her right to keep a little something something for herself, right? So I'm just saying, you getting pregnant for a womanizer a second time, that's not him wanting to trap you. You just wanted to keep him and you thought you could keep a man that doesn't want to be kept. and you're translating it as that. Like someone will have to send me the video or the screenshot of Stefon Diggs' mom saying that Stefon Diggs tried to trap Barnaby, because one thing I know about those boys' mom, she will never put her kids on blast. That woman is an enabler to her children, and that is why they always get in trouble. People who enables people bad behavior and thinks they're doing them a favor is only sending them home early to the who savior. She's only sending her kids home early, and she doesn't see it. She doesn't see it because one has an addiction problem, doesn't know how to keep his hands to himself, always getting in trouble. Another one has similar instances, allegations, and what do you think is going to happen? If you're an addict, if you're putting your hands on people, getting people beaten up, what is going to happen? You think you're going to live your life every day like that? Oh no, honey, oh no. The only thing and the only act, not even good, because even the good acts, they have to end and you start a new cycle of either another good act or another bad act, right? The good ones, you'll reap the rewards for them, okay? Because though some people think that, oh, there's only this life. I can do whatever I want to people. I can tell lies on them. I can make mischief on them. And all I can do is go down on my knees and say, Lord, forgive me, and I'll get away with. No, it doesn't work like that. And sooner or later, many people are going to find out that it really doesn't work like that. So I'm just saying, that woman, she will never ever put her kids on blast for the internet or for any woman. It doesn't matter what Barney had promised her. It doesn't matter what Barney has given to her. It doesn't matter what Barney was about to give to her. She would never put her kids on. That woman loves her son. That woman, she is her kids' number one enabler. She enables those boys' behavior to a point of, I'm not going to say no return, because the possibilities are endless, and you guys know that the possibilities are endless. So I'm not going to say to a point of no return. I'll never say that because I'm not Lord God and Savior. But I'm just saying she is an enabler. And whenever a parent enables their children bad behavior, oftentimes the children does not change. So, because the mother is an enabler, I can't see her doing that. No, make no mistakes. I'm not saying that the mom should not love her kids. I'm not saying she should not protect her kids, because black men are, how black women and girls are endangered species when it comes to crime and violence against women. Black men are a set of endangered species as well. Black men were designed to fail the moment they come out the womb, right? So I believe the mother has every right to be protective and be overprotective to her black sons. And you have to give her respect for that, whether you love her or not. But her problem is enabling them to a point where she doesn't seem to correct the bad behaviors. And how do I judge from that? If you're twerking on your son, you are an enabler. Any mother who twerks on their son is an enabler. I'm not going to say she's going beyond that, as some people might be alluding to. Oh, seems as though they're closer than that. It doesn't mean they're closer than that. Well, it's, not anything decent for any mom to be doing. I'm not going to say something more than that is happening. I think that is quite a stretch and quite a reach if you ask me. So, to cut a already long story short, I don't think that guy ever tried to trap Cardi B. If he tried to trap her, I can't see it. I think that if he wanted to trap her, he would give her that ring that she was desperate for. And the mere fact that he never gave her that ring that she was so desperate for, that guy told us he would have to get a Super Bowl ring before he can give her a ring, okay? So I think that if he wanted to trap her, men are not stupid, you know. They may often act stupid out of greed. They may often act stupid out of selfishness, but they're not stupid. So I don't think the guy tried to trap her in any mean shape or form. But anywho, boo boo, that's just my take on this entire thing of Cardi, you know, alluding to or kind of giving the sense that there was a second pregnancy as the internet was alleging, because it's all an allegation. We still don't know if it's true, boo boo. We still don't know. And maybe we will never know, but who cares? Leave a comment below. Peace.